Hi guys, welcome to Parrot Playhouse. My name is April. This is Victoria Cockatoo. This is Thomas. Both birds were at one time thrown away and stuck in the Parrot Crisis. And this video that we're about to show you is about a woman named Madeline and her cockatoo named Ramona, who was also a victim of the Parrot Crisis. And Madeline tagged me on Instagram, and she wanted Ramona's story to be shared. She wanted Ramona's story to be heard. She wanted Ramona's story to help save a parrot. Help save a parrot. Because this is a story that must be heard, you guys. It's about love, it's about adoption, and it's about the importance of vet care. So please share Ramona's story. Keep Ramona in everybody's heart and help Ramona make a difference for birds out there.
Thank you, April, for sharing Ramona's story. Ramona was a lesser silver-crested cockatoo. She was 30 years old. I adopted her from the SPCA in June 2019. She was neglected and abused. She lived in unsanitary conditions. It was overcrowded to the point where the other birds were plucking out her feathers on her head. And she was just passed around. She'd been at the SPCA twice in 1 year and a couple times before that. So she had never known a forever home until I adopted her. And unfortunately, I only had her for 6 months until she succumbed to Aspergillosis, which had been developing for years from her previous environment. And I didn't know she was sick. When I adopted her, I would have done it regardless, but I thought I had, 10 more years with her. But 2 weeks ago, she passed away. It was very sudden. She didn't show any signs of illness. That week I was noticing, she wasn't breathing right. She's tail bobbing. She was breathing with her mouth open. So I took her to the vet, and they said it's probably Aspergillosis. And they gave me medications. They gave me, medication to do a nebulizer treatment. And I had taken her for oxygen therapy a number of times. And finally we did x-rays and blood work and a culture and all this stuff. And in the x-rays they discovered she had a granuloma developing from her Aspergillosis. It was pushing up on her trachea, and she couldn't breathe. And we were talking about surgery, but it was so risky. It was around all the major blood vessels, and she was an old bird. And it was almost certain that she, at that age, and that the disease was progressing for that long, that her body was too far gone, that she probably had a lot of granulomas developing, and it was painful, and she wouldn't have lasted much longer after surgery. And we put her to sleep, which was the hardest decision of my life. I didn't want to. I wanted to do surgery. It was probably selfish knowing that she wouldn't have had a good quality of life after, but I wanted more time with her. I wasn't ready to give her up, but the vet, my boyfriend, and my mom, they all talked to me, and they just said it was time. And I didn't want to believe it. But then I went back and saw her in the oxygen chamber. She was so out of it, she couldn't breathe. She couldn't open her eyes. And then, I just realized that this isn't anything worth living for. She would have been in pain and suffering for the rest of her life, regardless of whether or not we did surgery. We euthanized her. I was there with her. I couldn't leave her. It was the worst day of my life. And I knew I was gonna come home to more birds and more animals that I have. But that day just, it just ripped a big hole inside of me. You guys, it's just so important to get your animal vet care and to cherish them. You never know how long they have left. I mean, this happened so suddenly. I thought I had another 10 more years with her, but I only had another week. And I would have done anything I could for her. But sometimes it's when it's time. Just tell you guys that vet care and keeping a healthy environment, a good diet, is so important, because all of that can save their lives, can change their lives if they come from a bad situation. And that, there's risks with adopting and rescuing, but it's so worth it, because Ramona, she gave me the best 6 months of my life. I had never felt that much love from a bird before. I have to end this here. It's just getting too hard for me to talk about this. But thank you, April, for sharing this. I really appreciate it.